this will be the 2v2. So it's very important for TY's team to win this 2v2. Well, spawning here in the bottom right, the man, the myth, the legend, TY, and his ally, Deer.
Well, on the opposite side, we have the purple protoss stats.
Totally was on stats for sure. Don't worry about it, guys.
Well, I can't watch your vision when it's replays. So.
No, I know. I'm just saying, don't worry about it. It's good. Keep going.
And the blue zerg is solar.
But yeah, so 2 protosses probably indicates there'll be a lot of Phoenix. The thing is, we really don't get... Oh my god, all the people who talk about my feral gameplay. I got comments, guys, but there's not a lot of 2v2 meta established, right? 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s, these are games with your buddies. These are games with your friends. There's no league structured around it. There's hardly any meta play for it. I know that there's a couple of hardcore 2v2 people out there who will disagree with me, and that's fine, but I'm saying for these guys who are playing, they don't have an established idea of the meta. They don't play this consistently. 2v2s are like an afterthought to them. So what's nice is they come into this with an idea of what's good. We know what's good. Phoenixes are good, but beyond that, it's just them applying their best skills, which is kind of funny because it's been clunky. It's been less than perfect like their 1v1 plays. It is emphasizing that it's Phoenix. We knew it was going to be Phoenix. We predicted it's going to be Phoenix. Guess what? It's going to be Phoenix. And this is such a difficult battle to win. We even saw Terrans try and support this with Ravens, with Vikings, and even then, well-controlled Phoenix can still just kind of plow through. It's a very difficult unit to fight against, and if you counter Phoenix with other Phoenix, it's a glass cannon war that is worse than Muta versus Muta.
A lot of the 2v2 when this happens is whose partner can protect their Phoenix count better. The Phoenix are useful at, stopping drops, and it's not like they're... it's not quite like building up to a carrier army, but it's kind of the same idea. Like, that's the better composition to save.
Well, as the army moves out, I like the idea of the Banelings to wash off the Marines. It takes away all that protection. But realistically, I don't think Solar can support his ally the same way TY can.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you had Hydras, I'd be a little worried because, the next step is Hydras with the Zerg player. Next step is perhaps, well, maybe more to mine, but also maybe tanks for the Terran. So it's, you can't really push on a creep yet. So it's obviously not one of those things where it's like, well, this is clearly the better army. Why don't you just stim in? They both are being very, very careful, or rather, all 4 people are being very careful.
Yeah. And it's important that they are too, because this is such like a knife's edge battle type thing. But well, maybe the Widowmites here aren't going to be the focus out of TY. He is still producing them, and I like seeing that. We got Anya Pulse Crystals finishing up for both players now, so cool little purple lasers coming out of the Phoenix instead of blue ones with 2 extra range on them. This won't really matter for the Phoenix versus Phoenix battle a lot of the time, but it will start helping poke at things like the medevacs and not allow TY so freely to push up the way he was moments ago. I love the unit composition of Protoss, by the way. Probe Phoenix, that's it. Nothing else. Not a single other thing. Someone chat's asking about saying I've never seen an Archon lifted. I'm assuming you can't. You would be correct. You cannot lift massive units. So things like Thors, Ultralisks, Archons. Although I still feel very opinionated that team effort should apply. And I think 4 Phoenix should be able to lift up a Thor, okay? Y'all try hard enough. By our powers combined.
It is kind of a decent lore question. Like, why can't 20 Phoenix pick up a hatchery?
Why can't Terran land a building on a Zergling? The age-old questions. The mothership's an interesting element to add into this. I like this, but Terrans with scans should make that somewhat negligible. The Widow Minefield in the middle of the map, too. I don't think it's so much for the Zerg as it is for the Phoenix still, but it will be beneficial to catch things like Banelings or Zerglings. Friendly fire there. You know what, though? The 33-32 Phoenix count here, though, I really think the Raven is the biggest deal. You talked about the +3 weapons being a big deal. How do you get instantly +3 weapons? You put -3 armor on all your opponent's units.
Very, very good point. And this might be a little biased because I can't control Ravens, but even with TY, the master controller of late game compositions, I actually really doubt the Raven will get the time against 33 Phoenix.
I'm with you 100%.
Right into them.
They're both going to carriers too. I love this. Like the timing is such bullshit that they know exactly like, all right, it's about that time then.
It's exactly what they're planning on doing. I'm just like, oh, is it really going to work?
That scan to see where the Phoenix are. He catches the tail end of them. Stats with the mothership will also cloak his allies' units.
With an anti-armor missile, doesn't that Phoenix army beat that Hydra army? It's 34 Phoenix to 27 Hydras.
I think even without the anti-armor missile zombie grub.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was just saying it definitely does.
Oh.
But of course,
Oh.
he's worried that the Phoenix would be involved.
Okay, so that was some clutch moves out of Deer here to try and wall out the Banelings last second, but unfortunately, they still bust through. That was cool,
but
though.
now, I was talking about how much that this game is about the not Protoss supporting their Phoenix buddies. It's now about the not Protoss supporting their carrier buddies. We are in full-blown, like, Gold League 2v2 status here. Everyone's turtling up.
I think that this is okay, though, because the 2v2s that we've been witnessing so far in this team league... Oh, there's a Baneling run by on the right side we missed. The 2v2s have been really over too quickly to overextensions and bad positioning. I kind of actually really respect the fact that they're playing more cautiously. I want to rag on this and make the Gold League jokes, but I think this is a really smart thing to do to play it calm on both sides. He catches the Banelings up here with the Phoenix, by the way, but if he is spending a lot of time with the Phoenix here, then everyone knows that they're not over here ready to fight. The Mothership cloaks those Hydras. They push in. The detection is gone. The Raven gets picked up pretty quickly. Anti-armor paints some things orange, but you couldn't tell because the FPS is so goddamn gone. I've got a great PC, and I can't keep up with this battle.
I have no idea what's happening. The Terran army is mostly dying, but I think the Protoss army...
I'm watching the 34 for 31 on the Phoenix count.
Protoss army is winning.
The Phoenix, the Phoenix are aided by the Vikings a little bit, too. As long as the Vikings soak even just a volley from the Phoenix, that's a really big deal. But the anti-armor lands on the Phoenix once again. Oh, this is such a important detail that Stats falls back off of this. If he engages, he loses every single time that he gets painted orange. But damn, I got down to like 3 FPS there. I can't even imagine what this would have been like on Korea. I would have just dropped from the replay.
At some point, you could say TY and DR might have had a better army if it wasn't for the creep spread or something like that. They just never, they never decided to push, and either that's because they never saw an opening, very possible, or because this is actually how TY likes to play. Well, once he's like past the mid game, he's like, F it, here's a billion command centers.
You know, we talked about caster units. You brought up the Infestor. I should really highlight the Ghost, though. I think it would be really important to have. He's killing some of his own Phoenix on purpose. Not a mistake, guys. He's trying to open up supply. But EMPs could be really big here, whether it's on top of the Vipers or, more notably, on top of the Protoss army. Because for Stats to lose his shields on these carriers would be really tough to take a carrier versus carrier battle.
Well, I think eventually, if this game really is going to go like all bases taken, we might see TY do a good old-fashioned battlecruiser ghost combo. But that is speak of the devil. Battlecruisers on the
Hell
way.
yeah! Hell yeah! I love battlecruisers. We don't get them enough.
And you know TY knows about the Ghost combo. So I do expect them to throw down a couple of Ghost Academies soon. And I say a couple because I also would not mind seeing some nukes as the map gets really drawn out.
Yeah, and to highlight the combo Zombie Up's talking about, guys, if you Yamato cannon a carrier, it won't die. If you EMP a carrier, then Yamato it will.
Yeah, this has literally been highlighted in some GSL game he played just maybe like a month ago. Yeah. No, not even a month ago, like 2 weeks ago.
I love this cannon defense, by the way. Feels like we're watching a custom arcade map as he holds off the wave of attackers here. Big Infestors for neuroparasites. Could be amazing against somebody who goes like battlecruisers, right?
Yeah, you know, that's tough, though, because we're missing... I mean, I don't think... Oh, you know what? No, I was just going to talk about this. Deer didn't have Warp Gate. He's going into Warp Gate. If he gets just a Templar Archive just for feedbacks, I think that's totally fine, but also Storms would be very good.
I thought you were kind of giggling at the two different fights we have going on, right? TY's actually holding somewhat firm. Not well, but meanwhile, Deer actually clears out the entire main. Solar Stack is gone. Everything he had was in the main base, minus the Baneling Nest. But a mine's going to pop off on some of the interceptors. Sats his money, though, so it's not bad that he lost those. But as far as the race against time, he's depowered everything. He can recall still. TY's got a lot to fall back on. Yamato's coming down without EMPs, though, so they're not getting kills that he wants. Parasitic bombs land on the Vikings, and they've got to fall back. They're dying to the Phoenix. They're dying to the interceptors. Deer's going to have to... He recalls, but now it's 2v1. He may have taken too long to get home.
Yeah, I think this ended up going poorly. If they were all together, the Terran Protoss army might have been better. Oh, no. But, man, it feels bad.
Warp.
Bombs. The Mothership didn't die to the Yamatos is probably the worst thing about this.
I think if he actually teleported north... He's got so much static defense up here to fall back on. But, oh my god, wait. Deer's actually targeting things down here. Is it going to work? No. The Phoenix... this is insane. There's too many interceptors. I actually can't tell what's going on.
Well, Deer's losing. He was winning the Phoenix
But he's
war,
got 25 Phoenix. He can
that
kill
really
all the
better?
interceptors. Well, I guess no, the Hydra's on the ground will win this out.
Yeah,
GG.
yeah.
Oh, this got so crazy. I literally could not tell what was going on in that battle. But
Right?
GG, Stats and Solar secure the lead in this series now with a 3-1. And only TY stands against defeat for the other team.
It's so crazy. Yes, that is it's a point to be made, but